Hoorah.
Wow.
That wasn't a clap. We're definitely leaving that in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again here on the History in Music podcast, soon to be known as something completely different. So far, there's only one vote on the poll that we have, and that's me. So, yeah, I'm kind of not going to make any choices based off of that. Today, I have joining me Mr. Randy Blake.
Howdy.
I cannot remember your last name.
It's so messed up for you because my last name happens to be Capone. So, but it's all right.
Okay, we have Mr. Randy Blake. We have Mr. Nick Capone. As always, joining me, Dave Faulkner. And we also have Eric Ginder joining us.
Airborne.
All right, all four of us sitting right here, from Nick over to me, are combat vets here at the VFW post in Boone. Mr. Randy Blake is one of the best cooks I've ever met, as well as
Well, I don't know about that now.
Auxiliary member, son of a veteran.
Yes, I am. My dad was a Korean veteran.
Oh,
there we go. But, all right, today is going to be the special Veterans Day episode. We're not actually going to be talking about the song today or the history behind that, but I am going to let Dave go into the history behind Veterans Day.
okay. Veterans Day, frankly, this is our day. All right. We get a lot of thank you for your service on Memorial Day. That's not our holiday. That's for our fallen brothers and sisters. This is our holiday, and we have been celebrating. The history of the holiday started in 1919. 1918, there was an armistice between the Allied nations and Germany, ended World War I. 1919, President Woodrow Wilson declared the first Armistice Day to honor the veterans of World War I. And then in 1938, the U.S. Congress made Armistice a federal holiday, which was great. And then veterans groups began to ask, so post-World War II, Korean War, veterans groups asked for a holiday for all veterans. And that was passed in 1954. Then what's funny is it got changed. Hang on. Damn it, I had a better history. Oh yeah, 1968, it was actually moved to the last Monday in October to make it a 3-day weekend. And
Yeah, that worked out well.
well, I mean, it worked for a little while, but in 1978, no, wait a minute, 1975, President Gerald Ford signed a law that returned the annual observance to November 11th, and it began in 1978. He signed it in 75. That preserves the original historical significance. 11/11/11, or 11, yeah, and the 11 is
The 11th minute of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month.
Yeah,
Fucking assholes.
4/11. But now we celebrate on 11/11, and again, this is our holiday, and to my brothers
Congratulations, y'all.
and families of brothers, because
I can't reach that far.
without the families, there's no veterans. So
Well, like the shirt that I'm wearing from TVP today. Eric, if you could read that out.
Good Lord. Heroes serve bravely, families support us selflessly. Together, we honor our commitment.
oh. So basically, that's the history. We've gone from a Armistice Day to a national 3-day weekend holiday, back to its original 11th of November Armistice Day date, but now Veterans Day. So
Dude, yes, in order to honor
all
all
veterans.
which does not just include our veterans, it honors all veterans.
That is correct, because Armistice Day is actually celebrated throughout pretty much Europe They call it something different though.
So
No, it is
it's Armistice Day. That's the British, the French,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Netherlands
Germans don't
guys,
celebrate
like
that.
Everybody, we all celebrate Armistice Day.
Allied forces, correct.
100%. Allied Forces Day.
Well, it didn't work, did it? The war to end all wars.
Well, it worked.
Well,
it worked for
kinda
about
did.
30 years. But,
Yeah,
about only 30 years is about how long that one actually made it. Because we all know World War II originally started in 1939. No, we had this before on the podcast. It was 1939 when Britain declared war.
Yes.
It was St. Bismarck
30,
that we started covering.
37. Hitler rose to power in 33, and then there was a takeover of Poland and
1934.
movements within.
It was 1937 when they invaded Poland to officially begin World War II, but it was 1939 when the
33.
British.
Right. 33
actually-
was the rise of
Yes.
Hitler. Right.
And
So-
39 was when the British actually declared war on
Correct.
Germany.
That's when they fucking came in and cleaned house.
And then, well, they were getting kind of hammered, and then 41, the Japanese said, "Hey, y'all, join." And boy, did we.
Yeah.
And that's when, that's when everybody found out, hey,
And it
we weren't that big a power at that point. But boy, we had the production capability and the gumption to say, "Yeah, I'm in."
Oh yeah, we unleashed hell on them. That's what
Then
happened.
Ford, Chrysler, Daimler, they all fucking came in. Next thing you know, they're fucking making all the fucking B-29s,
Oh,
the B-17s, like
Everything.
watch your
Oh.
upwards.
I'm sorry,
We
guys.
started with we started with
We
things
can-
like Colt 1911 A1, the 45 auto everybody knows, made by Colt, Singer, Westinghouse.
I actually have a Brit 303
Thompson.
manufactured by General Motors,
Yep.
Golden State Arms, out of New Mexico for
Good
World War II for the
Lord.
British.
Yeah. Yeah. We were building for the British as well.
And
Well, we were building for the British well before
Oh, right,
the Japanese actually attacked us. Pretty much all the British tanks were Shermans underneath.
And Ford, yeah, for sure.
Well, and of course
B-24 Liberator, 1 hour.
the
At
know,
one point in time,
RB-29.
at one point in time during their production, yes, they were putting out one B-24 an hour
yes.
Well,
at the production plant.
You know what's crazy about that whole thing is that the whole country pretty much sacrificed, kicked in, and gave up their jobs and went into production.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Oh, yeah.
And if you did that now, like, how would the country react?
Oh, that.
You know what I mean? Like, there would be.
Well, we don't have the infrastructure now.
And-
But to give you an idea today, 16% of the people in World War II were drafted. 32% enlisted.
That's correct.
Hey, brother,
Sorry for the cricket
That's-
fan.
that literally is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
We got, well,
Yeah.
and we did see an uptick, a huge uptick in recruitment after 9/11. When our country gets attacked, people
Yeah.
go, "Oh hell no, we're not going to play that." I won on the winning side, and well, we might not have won that one quite as decisively, but rules of war have changed.
Yes, but okay.
We
but-
could have held that.
We
could
still-
have held those.
But are we
those countries
still going to talk
indefinitely.
about the fact that the Geneva Conventions that establish what war crimes are is pretty much just a checklist of of shit that Canada did in World War One?
Yeah, well, or World War II.
Yeah, the original Geneva Convention after World War One is nothing but
Look, I
okay. Canada did this. Yep, that's a war crime.
Yeah,
now.
we can't do that anymore.
Yep, Canada then did this. Yeah, they can't do that anymore.
And probably my favorite history YouTuber, Nick, the Fat Electrician, has a T-shirt that says, "It's not a war crime the first time." And it's kind of true. First time you do it.
Giving you like,
It's not a war crime the first time.
I can already see it now. It's going to be, you know, every time we have Eric on the podcast, I'm just going to like have to bleep everything that he says.
I guess we have to get the cowbell for Eric.
Come on, guys.
Once again, like we've told you all before, we're combat vets. We survive on caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, and swear words. So,
You forgot the cigarettes.
that's the nicotine.
Nicotine.
He said, like,
Oh, dude.
And
Caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, and swear words.
yep. And now, at some point, we are going to. I do want to cover some of the, especially the Marine Corps hymn, as a historical song.
Why? Your army.
Yes.
I know,
But
because the
fuck 'em.
caisson's not got a lot of history in
The
it.
caissons go rolling along. Just
Yeah,
talks
it's
about
just not a lot of history. Where the Marine Corps hymn actually has a, from the halls of Montezuma.
to the shores of Tripoli.
There's a lot of history in that. That one's easier historically to cover than the caisson.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me
Very much
wrong, I was Army, but the Marine Corps hymn's cool as. I'm trying not to do it.
so. I was about to say
Yeah,
we
this-
pretty much hit our limit for that word.
This
of
episode,
one person today.
this episode may not be fit for younger people.
I don't post it for kids
No,
anyway.
this is not for kids.
But you know, just as soon as they actually do limit it to kids, it's pretty much not put out to anyone.
Right.
So yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of his mouth moves and it's just beep, beep.
Yeah, there could be some of that. And I'm struggling. You know.
I think we're all struggling at this point in time. But
No,
I've-
I'm
no,
not
so
the
but
kids.
so
I
really
think-
though, like back to what I was saying, not to reiterate the whole thing, right? But us as a country right now, right? So say I know what Dave said. And what Dave said is true. When 9/11 hit, you know, the enlistment rates went up and everybody wanted to join. But I mean, think it's like serious situation. What if it's like World War III? It's a dire situation and we're in need. Will members of the country actually sacrifice?
The total dedication of this country.
it's
My grandmother, I still have coupons. My grandmother was so tight, she actually saved food coupons because there was rationing and it was really tight because everything was going in to produce food and munitions for our service members overseas primarily. So everything got restricted here. Sugar, meat. Meat was almost unattainable. There was very little bit. I mean, it was really tight. That kind of sacrifice from the U.S. public today, I don't see it. I don't see, unless we were literally invaded by a foreign nation into this country, I don't see that kind of dedication from the public like we had in, and I'm going to call them the greatest generation.
for World War II.
World War II. I
They
mean,
win.
right.
They win.
my grandfather couldn't serve. He wasn't allowed to serve because he worked in a shipyard as a steam fitter and a ship fitter, building Liberty ships. They were turning out a Liberty ship. I think he told me one
nothing
every
to do.
23 days.
No,
They
it
were
didn't.
turning out Liberty
because
ships
because they were building the ships.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him
That's-
do that.
But
He was a shipbuilder.
because
So
he was critical.
Don't crush him
No, he was.
at the same time.
Boom.
Oh no, he was
It's not about
critical.
crushing, but-
Yeah,
Nice piece of brass you got.
Hey, in our last video, the Marine had a giant brass dong.
Oh yeah.
I even said it at the beginning of it, saying, "Nope, the Marine has a giant brass dong." So at some point in time in the videos, the 5-inch shell has to make an appearance.
I'm waiting for Kentucky Ballistics to pull out a pistol that shoots that.
He pulls out a freaking pistol that shoots that thing. Dear,
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't be behind it.
that would be Kentucky Ballistics' last video.
It's a two-handed pistol.
Don't do that. I can't
It
put
would
that
be
in
a
the video.
two-handed pistol. We're gonna have
no,
to
but-
edit a
We're
lot.
gonna have to edit a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
and,
What you said though, I think I wholeheartedly agree with. I don't think that the people in the country would willingly sacrifice, and even if they were forced to give up, anything, that there would be numerous protests.
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
We would see a lot of
It would be very
protests
ugly.
and a lot of yeah.
But you know, that's one thing that those people don't think about. Their freedom today is because of
No,
the greatest generation.
you're exactly right.
You know, and being a kid that got his draft notice and lottery ticket while he was a senior. But, you know, it's
Dave,
like my
you'll-
dad said, he
if you'll
said,
take
"You're
the
gone,
giant brass
boy."
dong from him,
Then they killed the draft.
Please do.
I really think they need to
No,
start the draft back up.
Give me the dog.
And they need to start the draft up for boys and girls, at least a 2-year service.
A lot of countries do
What
that.
are you-
Israel does it.
hold on. What are you pointing at when you're doing that? Are you looking like directly into the light?
Into the light. Our
Okay, the camera's like right over there, dude. You can see the light, and then the camera over there. You got to look at the camera.
You can tell these boys are combat vets.
and been here with
I've been here,
What?
Wait,
I've been here
what?
since 11 o'clock this morning. So,
Where's
of course, I was back there washing dishes.
Well,
that
for the record, I enjoy being around these guys because that's how I grew up with veterans.
We enjoy having you.
we
appreciate
definitely
you.
enjoy having you around, Randy.
And so I know what it's like to listen to them at night and hear the stories and stuff about what they did, you know, in Cleveland as a kid. Most of the veterans up there from Cleveland was in the Navy.
I keep forgetting you were from Cleveland.
You know, I lived down here, but we lived there 9 years. But most everybody in Cleveland was in the Navy, was in Pearl Harbor when it got here. You know, I'm a Blake Hill. We don't sleep much.
Good.
But while all the rest of the youngins be in there snoring, I'd be hearing all the stories of what was being told and what they accomplished in their stories.
No, what and what I am finding is that I'm honestly impressed by the younger veterans because it's what 1% of the population I think now enlists in the U.S. military. About 1% of the eligible.
It's 1% of the 1% of the eligible enlist, and right now only 1% of the 1% actually will see combat.
Right.
yes and no.
But look, I'm impressed at the 1% because you know a lot of them do it for you know college money and I'll be honest, when I finally joined, I started out to join the Guard or the Reserve because I wanted some college money, and my recruiter lied to me. That's going to be a common theme you'll hear from veterans all over the freaking world. My recruiter lied to me. All right, we're back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had to kind of put Eric out for a little bit, but we're joined now by Mr. Tim Smith. He actually came in for his first time today and thought this might be a good idea for while we were recording this to go ahead and bring up some of his grandfather's memorabilia that he has, which dates all the way back to World War II. So, Mr. Tim?
I should say that I got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old right next door, but
That's who you're probably hearing in the background right now as well.
we and they both got their flight caps on. But we were coming home from Charlotte last night, and they're both avid Star Wars fans. And he knows what evil is because of Palpatine. But, you know, I told him he wasn't going to be in school today because it's Veterans Day. And, you know, it's not just a day off of school or a day off of work. There's a reason. And so he asked the question. He said, Daddy, why do we have military? There are no bad people. And I said, oh, son, there's bad people. And I thought it'd be a good time to talk about, you know, Grandpa Lou and Hitler. He says, well, who is Hitler? I said, well, that's a big question.
Boy.
That is a very good
So
question.
I started, as I had learned, I was in France years ago in the Museum of Peace up in the north part in Caen. And most of it was leveled by Allied bombers. But there's an
All but
old...
William the Conqueror's castle.
That's right.
I was in William Conqueror's castle about 8 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, and just north of that, right on the coast, is it's the weirdest looking thing. It's just it looks like a gigantic cinder block that's cut in two. And you walk in, and the very first thing I saw was on the left, the entrance in World War I and the signing of Versailles, and on the right, a picture of the Twin Towers and Osama bin Laden. And I thought, how are they going to connect the two of these up? And that's exactly what the museum did. And it's unlike any museum I had been here in the United States of the way in which they told the story. But you walk into this hall, and it's this gigantic, it's almost like Spaceland at Disney World. It's this round ball, and you can just hear all the speeches, and you see the signing of the Versailles Accords. But the story is that Germany had given up so much, and then you had the Depression, that it allowed charismatic, although heavy-handed, evil individuals to sort of sway the population. And I'm telling a story to Leonidas about original Hitler trying to take over, and he's like rebels, like the resistance. I was like, yeah, like in Star Wars, it's like the resistance, the rebels, but it's a little different. Well, tell me, Daddy. And it ended up allowing me to then retell the story of, and we all know this as adults, of the rise of Palpatine to the Chancellery and ultimately the Empire.
No.
That parallels.
Yeah, I don't think Dave's actually watched all of
No.
Star Wars.
Oh no! Well, if you know the rise of Hitler,
We're gonna have to correct that.
No.
then you
I
understand
know.
Palpatine.
I know the real history, but the science fiction history.
It's
so
a little
much.
similar.
It's a little similar.
I know Princess Leia was hot in the original, but outside of that, I don't.
Well, it's
So are we talking about Hitler's rise to power here? Is that what we're talking about?
So that it was a way for me to explain to my son and my daughter why we celebrate Veterans Day, but that there are bad people in the world, but that Veterans Day is when we honor people who fought and served, some who lost their lives and some are still with us today. But the only way to explain this to a 5 and a 3-year-old was through Star Wars, because that's the story they knew.
And we kind of, at the beginning of it, we did kind of go into, there is a difference between Veterans Day, which is our day, and then there's Memorial Day, which is, that's the day, people always come up to us and say, thank you for your service on Memorial Day. That's not what Memorial Day is about.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not
Memorial
us.
Day is about the ones that are no longer here with us. And
It's wonderful that you can find a way to bridge the gap. I'm not familiar with the Star Wars. I watched the original in the 70s, first 3. After that, I lost interest, but
come up to speed, man.
once again, we're going to have to fix that.
all right.
Hey, so what?
But all right, Mr. Tim, show us some of what you got here.
So, Grandpa Lou passed on December 3rd in 2017, and this is the card we had. And he was buried with full military honors at Cave Creek in Arizona. And it was interesting that there's a motorcycle brigade, and they rode ahead of the hearse, and which I was carrying his urn. And then they just stopped traffic, so we flew down through Phoenix. If you know Phoenix traffic, it was pretty impressive what happened, because we made a 34-minute drive in about 20 minutes flat.
I'm actually going to get a picture of it so I can actually throw it up in here.
And I've got some good blow-ups of him. But Lou was born in St. Louis, Missouri. He was the son of 2 Italian immigrants, and the Caligari
Couldn't tell from that
family
name.
name.
Yeah.
So he enlisted, after Pearl Harbor, and was told, "We can't send you to Europe, but you'll go to the Pacific Theater." And he ended up in the Aleutian Islands, and would one of the few stories he ever told me was, when the Japanese Imperial Army invaded Alaska. After Italy falls, he then redeployed to Europe, landed on the beaches in Normandy, and came back down. And he ended up in Ardennes at Battle of Bulge. And these are
So he actually participated in D-Day as well.
no, he came after.
Okay.
After, yeah. So after Italy falls, then they said, okay, now you can go because we need translators. So he was fluent in Italian. He didn't speak English, I think, until he was 4 or 5. He grew up speaking Italian and Spanish. And but then he, he never talked about anything, and all of his stuff was in a trunk, and I never saw anything. But after he passed, I remember it was, thinking a lot about our veterans and what it's like to come home. He had a good retired life. I mean, for well over 30. He was retired longer than he was active. He was Army in World War II. Shortly after, he was Naval Reserves, and then Air Force. And he just wanted to be a dental tech. And the Air Force said, we'll send you to dentist tech school. And that's what he did. And traveled the world doing it. Germany, Japan, all over the United States, and then finally in Luke Air Force Base. But he never talked about anything. And he was the nicest, simplest man. He had 1 beer a day. That was it. But when he passed, it was really a horrible scene in the house. Things had, gotten out of hand. But he didn't really use the lights a lot. That generation, why spend money if you don't have to? But
Dark house.
but my mom passed, ironically, a year before him, and I remember him calling me. And he was born in 1921, so he 97 years old, and he loved my mom, and she loved him. But going through now, everything in the house was hard to find things, but came across, just squirreled away. There's his ribbons, but and I
see clusters
from you, so I can actually hold them up here.
and
I'm not sure of the exact order these should be going through, but you can see one there with 1 star, one there with 3 stars on it. I'll see if I can't look up and see what they are and throw them up above in the video here.
Ooh.
Then we also have these here, and that is an oak leaf cluster. The one there with an oak leaf cluster on it. And then
Oh,
the final, and that's, I'm not sure, what is that called?
I believe that's the good conduct.
Well, I'm talking about the actual,
And I saw it.
I should know.
The device that's on it.
yeah, the device that's
I don't
on it.
know
Do
what
you know,
device.
do you know what it is?
I can't see it. From
It
I
it's-
had it pulled up once.
it's a line and knot,
It's like some barbed
angled
wire.
line, another knot, and then across it. But it doesn't have barbs on it. But I'll figure out what that one is, and I'll figure out what all these are, and I'll actually throw them up here above it,
So,
as well as that device, because that is an interesting device. I have never actually seen that one before.
I pulled up I got his discharge papers here, but this is where it got interesting. Was that his civilian occupation was an elevator operator.
Elevator operator?
Yeah, all this.
that was a thing.
On the elevator.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he, I got his combat infantry badge, and then here we've got his.
Yep.
Could that maybe have been his last job?
That's a good question of how they list that.
Because maybe that was his last job, and it was something that was, seen appropriate for him, as he could do duty, after combat.
Yeah, I mean, all I got is civilian occupation and number.
I recognize that patch, but I can't place it.
This one?
Yes,
Oh, this is the 28th.
28th. I was wanting to say the 29th.
And the bloody, as you said, the Germans call it the Bloody Bucket Brigade. And then this is one of the reunions. They did a
Hold it
whole book,
The camera's right over there. Hold it up there.
and they, they tell the story. And they've got pictures, and
I will actually see if I can't find a
Okay.
link to this and see if we can actually get a link to this book and throw it up in the description down below this podcast.
That is a good conduct. You earn 2 good conduct. Each knot represents a year of good conduct.
I
Okay,
thought that's
so-
what
okay.
it might have been.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
So-
Okay.
And here it is. So this is what we did know is he had 3 Bronze Stars from
Okay.
Rhineland, Central Europe,
that would
Ardennes
be-
campaigns. Yeah, so that's the European
Your
theater.
devices.
Yep.
And then
That would be these 3,
and then good conduct.
which is that one there.
Yeah, there. And then you've got, and then these are the. Okay, so then so now he's got Air Force, right? So he was Army, and then Navy Reserves, and then Air Force. And so here's got the oak leaf cluster on that one. But I think this is the. Is that?
That one looks like a campaign ribbon.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I think this is Asian, or no, Pacific Theater. I think this is Central Europe, if I'm not correct.
That's possible, but I can go ahead and get it thrown up there.
Yeah. But
I'll see all of them. I'll be able to.
and then
I'll be able to pull them all up.
conduct. But yeah, he
CIB.
and he even kept these
Stack of FMs.
military identification of government aircraft, which I was really interested in the planes, but so this is his original.
And let me
And
just
as a little
say,
side note, that was actually distributed to the Coast Guard, not the Coast Guard as we know it today, but there were Coastal Guard, and their job was to sit with binoculars and watch for planes in the night, and they had to study that guide to know what the silhouettes of all the planes, foreign enemy planes looked like.
Which would have come into place then in Alaska when he was stationed in Alaska.
Alaska, but
Sergeant Stripes.
blue and white.
I think.
They're not
Those are-
upside down.
those are
I think those
Air
are
Force.
upside
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Air Force.
I think those are
Okay. Yes, Air Force guy here, but
Chair
okay.
Force. Yeah,
Okay, but Sergeant Stripes.
you're Air Force,
These are not Air Force.
Unless they're
This
dressed.
is Air Force.
Army Air Corps.
This is Air Force. For Army Air Corps, I'll
May have been
probably
blue
look
and
it
white.
up.
Well, no, he went. You said he went Army, then
Naval
Navy
Reserve.
Reserve.
Reserves.
and then,
And then
Air Force.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but
And then here, well, here we do have technical Sergeant Stripes,
oh no, they're
which
cadet in
that's
black
that's
on
Air
a
Force.
Class A.
Google it.
That's Air
That's
Force
Air
right there.
Okay, with that. Okay, that would be Army Sergeant.
That's what I was thinking. Sergeant Stripes.
Wrong colors, but
I'm gonna put in. I love the fact that you can search your
right.
pictures now. So I'm just putting in defense to get his discharge papers, and then it tells me okay. So it's gonna be around January 2018. I'm trying to find. I can give you the pictures, but I didn't know he was Naval Reserves. And then we got the infantry field manual, and these are all in like pristine condition. We went through the military intelligence identification. Here's his basic soldier's handbook, and then
Come
Oh,
on.
that's awesome.
hey, bud, physical
Physical
training.
training, 1941.
I was about to say at this point in time we can either cut it out or
Are you
Rifle
talking about
company,
bad
rifle.
things on my grandpa?
We're not talking about bad
Well,
things on your
great
grandpa.
things.
We're talking about great things about your grandpa.
Well, excuse me, but don't say these patches are bad. Well, I
No,
like
they're
that.
not bad.
What is
Oh no,
this
they're
for?
not bad. We're just
Turn
They're
it upside
awesome.
down.
we're
What's it say?
we're glad to be seeing them.
US.
What is U.S. for? United States?
United States, yes.
Yeah, what's that?
Is this a challenge coin?
No.
Nope, that is not a challenge coin.
What?
Do you want to see a
Oh,
challenge
wait.
coin?
No, he's been collecting.
Hey, what's this
Oh,
other
challenge coins.
saving like this?
Oh, it probably fell off.
Well, what's this one?
This is my son Leonidas. He's 5. So, do you remember what today is? What's today?
That'll put me at 80.
It's Veterans Day. And what do we do on Veterans
Faith
Day?
in you.
Leonidas?
Pest control.
Pest
In
control.
a way.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's okay.
please
That's
tell me I can at least use that.
Yeah. Okay.
Security.
Okay, you wanna watch Peppa Pig? Okay, baby. Okay,
That
it's
sounds
okay.
funny.
My wife and his mother, the first date we had, you're getting to know somebody. So, well, if you ever had a boy, what would you name him? We both said Leonidas at the
Okay.
same time. And I'd driven by the Battle of Thermopylae in Greece, and where, the Spartans held the ground. And it's interesting, it's a small little sign on the side of the road, you wouldn't even know it. And it just says, down there is that's where the Thermopylae took place. Smallest little thing, and I thought, that's very Greek. If this is the yes, there'd be a massive
Oh, yeah.
neon LED, like right here is where it happened, and a video. But it was really interesting last night, like to recount the sort of similarities. And I don't know if that's what George Lucas was thinking, but at the end, I think it answered my son's
Okay, now we're
question.
going back to the Star Wars thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just full circle. It was. I think it answered my son's question. At the end, is why do we have a military? And it's to because there are evil people in the world. And he learned enough about World War II last night very quickly before he fell asleep that I was impressed that he just asked if you were drinking poison like Hitler, which is not not the same.
He kind of was, but
yeah, it was a good
I'm
one.
pretty sure what pretty much ended it was a 38. But
Well,
But we didn't go beyond that. But my cousin Mark, he is retired law enforcement from Arizona. But he, when he was 18, he enlisted in the Navy and found his calling as in military police. And so when he got out, he finished up and he went to the Arizona Police Academy and started out in Phoenix and worked his way up, and then ended up Arizona State Highway Patrol. And then after that, he was Tucson Narcotics Gang Task Force. And then he just one of those types that couldn't stop serving in some capacity. So he's
I've
retired, but he's
known a lot of them.
he's in Colorado now. He's an investigator for USAA for claims.
Okay.
Perfect person.
We have one of our members here that is a after he was an actual MP in the Army, and now he's actually still serving as a police officer for Beach Mountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kept checking the mail today, and with my son, and I just thought, where's the mail? And I thought, oh, it's Veterans Day. There's no mail. And he says, but Daddy, male people aren't veterans. And I said, oh yes, many are.
A lot of them are. There's one right there beside you.
Okay, well there we go.
yeah.
He's gonna get a kick out of that. But
Nick worked for the post office for a little bit too.
It's a fun venture.
I have my postmaster's a veteran. One of my city carriers is a veteran, and 1, 2, 3 of my rural carriers are veterans, and my one clerk over in Shady Valley, actually, her and her husband both retired from the Army and civil service after that.
See,
And then, of course, I had to look at her and go, so now you're triple dipping, huh? Yeah, kind of.
so not to change the subject, but we were kind of talking about how there's evil, right? And there's evil people. Well, it's when we see little kids like we saw when your son and your daughter, and we see them, and we see that they're pretty innocent and they're very
Your
sweet.
girls ran around.
Yeah,
in the frame on
I
camera
did too.
so-
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. I mean, they knew better, but anyways, I digress. Well, I guess what I'm getting at is that when you're younger, it's everybody's told to be nice to each other, and you generally try to be nice to each other, but
The golden
people
rule.
in general are not nice. People in general are inherently evil, and you can disagree with it all you want.
I do.
But the thing about it is,
Philosophically, I do.
well, yes, there's good people and there's bad people, right? But the thing about it is, it all boils down to survival, right? Survival for resources, whatever the war's about, whatever is going on, it's all about survival. And you see some of the nastiest things that come out during war.
Always true.
And
Yes,
and it
very
just
much so.
I mean, you're free to disagree, but I think at first you may have misunderstood what I was saying. It's just ingrained in us to survive, and if it means gouging somebody's eyes out or what have you, something visceral, then that's what happens. You know what I mean? And so there's people that are always going to be that way regardless of the situation, like we were talking about, like Hitler or whatever.
But that's
I think there's a difference between good and evil and survival are kind of separate things. And there are, I think for the most part, people are good. There are, unfortunately, charismatic people who are evil. Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, all good examples. And there's the list goes on, continues to this day. There are charismatic people who are evil and do not care about others. They have no empathy. Most people are empathetic to other people. That's how the population has survived. We are empathetic. That is where morals come from, is we are empathetic to the suffering of other people. We will try to bring other people with us. And now when it comes to survival, it's you or me. All right, that's a different thing, but
Well, there's a lot of what you just said in there
I will
as
agree.
first world stuff. If
No,
you
no,
take
even-
it back to third world country stuff, then there's a lot more.
well, we have for a lot of your third world country stuff.
You've been taught to be nice. You have
Yes,
been.
we-
You've been
we
taught to be
have-
nice to each other.
We have the golden rule, but we also, as a first world country, we also have I can't think. I can't
All right,
think of the name
I'll-
of it. It's the sanctity of life.
Just
All
like
right.
we can sit here and have,
all right,
have this
but
discussion.
I'll give you a for instance. There are several animal species who will empathetically forego a treat to share a treat so that their treat is less with another of their own species. It's empathy for survival. It's not
Maybe in a
about
smaller group, but
but it means that empathy is honestly it's trans species. This isn't just humans, and it's not just a first world thing.
No, what
People
you're
will share.
saying-
People even in third world countries, when they have one loaf of bread, they will share with people that one
that
loaf
are in
of
the
bread.
same tribe or same
Situation or
religious group or whatever, but not outside of those groups.
well, all right. That's when we begin to get into.
First world, yes.
No, that's not first world. I'm talking about third world.
Third world.
That's just general.
Again,
Human-
but sharing
human
within
empathy.
but sharing within the same clan is not
That's
the same
tribalism,
as-
and unfortunately, tribalism is a thing.
like look at Afghanistan. How many tribes exist in Afghanistan that were waging war against each other? So they
doing
feel
it.
for each other, but they don't feel for the other factions.
No, well, and that's
But the kind of going back to what I was talking about is we have the best way to put it is sanctity of life. We consider that each life is important. Well, like there are in your third world countries, like there are places in Africa that they don't understand that. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a concept that they have. You know, it's pretty much there. It's survival of the fittest. There was the guys on Unsubscribe were talking one time about one of them went out hunting in Africa and shot an elephant. Well, to go hunting there, you have to, you can go hunting as much as you want with the guides, but anything you kill, you can get the skin, you can get the head, but all of the meat goes to the local tribe.
Yeah.
Well, the tribe came out. He shot the elephant. He got the skin, and he got the head. And the tribe came out, and they were butchering the elephant up. And one of them was on the top, swinging an axe to cut through the ribs, so they can get the ribs and take them. Well, there was more people that were working inside that were, like cutting meat on the inside, grabbing them, taking them out. And the guy missed one time and went straight through and hit this other guy in the head. And they didn't even stop. They didn't even think about it. They just dragged the one guy out of the way, and somebody went walking in and took his place.
Yeah, it's just
You know, as a first world country, we have the sanctity of life feeling to where we think that, every life is important. Then when you get into the third world countries, it's
Part of life.
it's part of life.
because you've seen it so much throughout your life that it doesn't register as anything.
But, still go to the Good Samaritan or anything like that. If you see someone that is in need or needs some help or needs food or anything like that, then that is our empathy.
And maybe
comes
and maybe the word evil was a little too strong, but I mean, in general, like not all people, and I don't believe that people in general are good because
there's that
like I said,
military bias.
It's just,
And we all
it's
have
just
it. I
that-
mean,
it's just that
Yeah,
thing.
we
Man. I mean, you
we
can't.
definitely all
Can you
have that.
trust people? I don't
It's the
think
same
so.
reason we all go into a room and sit with our back to the wall as a veteran, head on a
Come on here
swivel.
now. I'm not a veteran, but I still sit with my back.
You've learned.
Back to the wall, looking around, making sure you can keep an eye on
I
every
think that's
exit.
the
And so
hunter-
again,
I think that's the hunter
but that's
instinct in me.
something that's learned, right?
Situational awareness.
We've
And
learned
that's-
that.
Yeah, that's
have
our learning to, and that's also due to what we've been through.
Yeah.
Situational awareness is
Keep your head on the swivel.
head on
Yeah.
a swivel.
As an experience, an experience has shaped us into who we are.
Well, I like hearing the different takes and philosophies on this. I was trained as an anthropologist.
Oh, you
Oh,
My whole
okay.
career was to study social culture.
you would probably love to hear some of mine and Dave's late night drunk conversations because we've gotten kicked out of here several times for.
Oh,
One of the best ones was we started talking about time travel.
yeah, but that's not anthropology. Now,
No.
I'm in there.
Well,
Oh,
And the survival thing, I get.
but for me, it's the history of my field. It's gone back and forth. This pendulum that swings. The whole nature nurture thing. Is there such thing as a human universal, or is everything local? And just hearing y'all talk, I've come to, especially after Helene here in North Carolina, and raising my children, I've come more and more to believe that everyone who is born has the capacity to be good or the capacity to be evil, and it's about how they're raised, which is going to bring one set out to another.
I actually have a perfect example for this. I was talking to because I was stuck in Trade, Tennessee for 2 days after Helene. Then when I finally made it back home and I'm seeing these groups of teenagers. Beforehand, if you see a group of teenagers that are wandering around and doing something, you're automatically going to think, oh, they're up to no good.
Trouble.
But these groups of teenagers were literally going pretty much house to house. Hey, do you need anything? Do you need water? Do you need us to go get you food? Do you need us to get gas for your generator? We could, we've got 4-wheelers. We can get a ride and all this. Mm-hmm. Well, I went up and was talking to my postmaster at the time. She's actually now retired, and matter of fact, former Army vet there. But I went up to her and I was talking about these groups of teenagers that I just saw, and she was like, "Oh, what were they doing?" And I looked at her and said, "No, they're going door to door. They're asking these people, especially the elderly in the community. They're checking on them. First thing every morning. They're checking on them. Every afternoon. Hey, do you need water? Do you need food? Do we need to go get you fuel for your generator?" And just seeing that shift, because beforehand it would have been, oh yeah, you see a group of 5 or 6 teenagers that are out wandering around. Yeah, they're probably, and we were one of them at one point in time.
do up to mischief.
Yep. They're up. Oh, they're up to something. They're doing something. These kids, no. We had Halloween happen, and within the days and weeks after that, the kids were one of the first ones to be, hey, who needs help? Who can we help? Who can we reach out to? How can we,
Mm-hmm. And for me, it was the college students that live in and around my neighborhood. They were helping to. There's a neighbor behind me. His bridge got washed out. My wife and I were hauling water and fruit and food, whatever we had, because I didn't prepare for that. But we were hauling things up to him, and this group of college students came in, and there was about 20 of them that rebuilt his little bridge so they could get in and out to at least take him food and water. And again, I saw the best of people in Helene. Post Helene, I saw the contractors come in from off the mountain. That's when you get to see the worst of people.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and that again, it goes back to the question of I think local.
This guy.
And
Ranger Mike.
No, please don't let me interrupt.
We're recording right now, and we're doing a Veterans Day episode.
I know it sucks. I don't want to get fucked up in the edit.
Oh, we done got
Well, you
rid
just
of one
did.
cussing veterans. Come on in.
All right.
I was about to say, I was gonna say, we can let Mr. Tim get everything packed up here, and because I know you're probably looking to get home with your kids.
I know, but now you've switched gears and that now. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well.
Oh,
and-
now you want
Will?
to talk. Yeah,
That's not gonna work.
we're gonna have to get you to move over here.
I'll be off camera.
That's fine.
Jamie, pull up that video.
You're at least gonna have to pop in and say, hey, because the camera's right there. And matter of fact, I don't know if you sitting there, if these microphones are even going to pick you up, because I don't even know if they're really picking me up unless I lean this way.
They should.
They should.
But
I don't see why they
you
wouldn't.
turned
This
it.
is
Okay.
it's got a lot of ambience in here.
There,
Ambiance.
there's a lot of ambience, and it's
Normally we've got the Marine over there behind us.
Yeah.
and it's not his wife yelling at Jaguars ambiance.
Yeah, that was definitely in the last video.
So if you connect the two, right, you're talking about first world situations where a community is helping its own community, and you were
Right.
And then we had the people from outside of the community coming up to try and take advantage of everything that had just happened.
right. But so also, right, we said that people in third world countries are used to seeing a life being wasted, and it's just what it is. It's a normal everyday
But
thing
you gotta
that
think,
happens.
Yes.
To them, it's not being wasted. To them, it's just
No, it's just productivity.
Well,
yeah,
what-
it's just what's
it's
happening
just
today.
today.
Yeah, it's
What
productivity.
we were talking about was, in your third world countries, they don't have our sanctity of life.
yeah. Dude, they don't even have. They have no idea.
So,
like
I don't-
about
I
our
don't-
style
you know-
of life because they're just so closed off. Especially with me being in some very small villages in Central and Eastern Africa. dude, like we showed them cell phones, and like they were like, "What is this?" Like, it was crazy. Like they didn't know. They don't know what
You're a
phones
wizard.
are. You know, like the only thing they know about the outside world is what they've learned from missionaries and soldiers and people from other countries coming there. Like they're so closed off. Like it's crazy.
So, but the question is, Wrench Mike, is our our people inherently good, or are they inherently bad?
That's an extremely good question.
I say
So-
something nice. You know, people being nice is something that's learned.
So I feel like everybody who's ever been in a different country or even a different state can kind of like, it's really just based off of your opinions. But like with my opinion, with the places that I've been all over the world, you know, I've seen, as we all have, we've seen the good in the world and we've seen the bad in the world. We've seen the worst in the world and we've seen the best in the world. I feel like, so like say with my time in Iraq, you know, the 3 times that I was in Iraq, I met some of the nicest and most genuinely sweet people who just wanted help and wanted to be helped. They were just extremely nice people. Like, so like Fallujah, not so much, but like when I was in Balad in Iraq, I met, so we took a security into this house one day, and apparently the house that we took over was owned by a very famous artist in Iraq at the time, back in 2004, or no, Balad was 2006. So in 2006, we took over a house to pull security for a very famous artist. And when I was like taking my break, I was like leaned back and like had my hands behind my head and was just like sleeping. And this man, like he did a quick sketch of me with a pen, not a pencil, with a pen. And like I still have it to this day. Like, I'll bring it in one day and like show you. It's framed in my house right now. And he signed it and dated it and everything. And I feel like, as a whole, people are good. I feel like what turns people into what we would call bad people, I feel like life. You know, just life experiences, cultural influences develop that evilness in people. But I think, back to your question, my answer is, in the whole, people are good.
Socio-political influence is, I think, the worst thing.
Yeah.
And that can be religious. I've seen some of the worst behavior from people claiming religious superiority, political superiority. I think the worst behaviors come from socio-political.
The peer
Look,
pressure.
The
Peer pressure from anything,
give
like
me-
political, religious, just morals. The
Yeah.
peer pressure turns good people evil.
Give me any child, and with no outside influence, socio-political influence, good parenting, but no socio-political influence, that's going to be a good person. Because honestly, I think evolutionarily, we are a social animal, and the only way for a social animal to continue to evolve is to be
Adapt.
inherently good
Yeah.
for the survival of the species.
Yeah.
But it's not hard to run off the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
I mean, even the most evil people that have ever been on the planet, history, present, and even in the future, all of that, I feel like, stems from a good place.
Something
Something good
went off the rails.
Something good started, and then, like you said, like social manipulation, peer pressure, religious, political, whatever, it evolves into something. Even if it starts off good, it can eventually evolve into
You know,
something negative.
I've
The
listened-
United States could be considered the same thing. We started off as something good, and depending on what your political or religious views are, the United States could be something bad right now, depending on
I
what part of the
listened
planet you live on.
to a really good historical breakdown of Hitler's upbringing. And you can almost see him being a child who he had issues, and then he just got broken down and broken down, but he was a very charismatic person.
Yeah.
And you can trace his almost step by step how it just turned a regular person into this hate,
Entity of
spiteful,
An entity of evil.
Yeah, exactly.
A catalyst of evil.
He wasn't born evil. He was made evil over time, and just he perpetuated that evil, and it became who he was.
I know I came into this late, but where did this conversation start?
I have no idea. Well, just
Well,
the history of Veterans Day
Right on.
is where this started.
I was trying to explain to my children, my 5 and 3-year-old last night about.
Oh,
My son had asked the question like, why do we need military? Why do we need armies? There's no evil people in the world. And that's why I explained to
If there
him.
were no armies, how many evil people would there be?
I think it also goes back to what you were saying about perspective and context and like.
There could be no evil, or there could be
all.
rampant evil.
Well, if you want peace, prepare for war.
Oh, so what's that quote?
One person's trash. Is it?
What is it?
Building's on fire.
War creates peaceful men. Peaceful men create war. It's a perpetual cycle.
Yeah, I'm gonna. All right, he's hit the. I used to call it the cocaine hour, but I learned it's it's adrenaline.
Is it 2 a.m. already?
It's adrenaline. Tired being adrenaline. And
Yeah.
we have.
We've hit that point.
We were supposed to be hitting some food pantries.
Oh man, I feel like I came in and just like ruined your all's whole
No.
like vibe.
No, because I think what you brought to the conversation was what we were kind of getting at was, is the difference between a universal or a local view, and then trying to negotiate whether someone is born good or evil or bad, or if they're shaped by their environment.
Well, see, no. So
I
when
think
you're-
it's both.
Well, see, when you're
Yeah.
born into an environment
both.
where there's plenty of food and there's plenty of resources and everybody shares and everybody's, learning to be nice to each other, that's one thing. When
But
we said
even in that environment, we got John Wayne Gacy, and we end up with serial
again,
killers.
something that was learned though. You just said that was something that was learned.
or
by someone.
well,
We're getting into a
or
a
is it?
subject
That's a
that
that's
could
a
last
whole
for
difference
hours.
because
You're right,
are
though.
there people who are mentally broken from birth?
Yes.
Yes,
I
of
think
course
there are. And
Absolutely.
those are the ones who, start lighting cats on fire at 2 years old. There's something wrong with that child.
That's an
That's-
anomaly though. That's like
It is.
You know
So
what I
like
mean?
not
I
to
think
put
those are the people who are born evil, and they need to be segregated.
okay, so not to put myself
even
out
fix
there,
it.
but like so you two know who I am and what I did. I wasn't born this way. I was born into a Christian household. My father was a ranger, but I didn't know that until I was much older, older than a toddler. So like I was born and raised in a very strict Christian household. I didn't know my father was in the military until I was at least like 8 or 9. 8 or 9, I didn't know that my dad had been in the military. And but even before then, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. But like, I was like again, I was raised in a Christian household. I went to a private Christian school from kindergarten to 5th grade until we moved to Tennessee, and then I started going to public school. But even when I went from Christian school to public school, I was very like reserved and like shy and timid, and that
Well,
lasted.
you got over that shit.
And that lasted through middle school. I was very calm, timid, shy, for lack of a better term, weak. I was picked on a lot. High school, same thing. I was very athletic, but like I was not very aggressive. I didn't have an aggressive bone in my body. I didn't get into my first like actual fist fight until I was 15 years old, and then so like I wasn't born into this life, but I always knew I wanted to be in the military. So when I joined the Army and I became an infantryman, like something in between basic training and me, like throughout my first deployment, something in me changed and it unlocked something. And I went from a very calm, timid, shy, reserved individual into my career in the military turned me into something different, into what I am today. I became aggressive. I found my violence.
You unlocked the alpha.
I did. I unlocked something in myself. I did. I unlocked something in myself that became prolific in my military career.
We'll edit the hell out of this.
Yeah, that became prolific in my military career. And then I went from an infantryman to a ranger to a squad leader in the Rangers. And from there, I just exploded. In my own self, I became something that my teenage self could never fathom that he could be. And now that I'm out, and I've been out for a while, and I've become a father and a partner in life, and I have learned peace. So I went from calm, timid, shy, reserved to overconfident and reckless and violent and a little bit sociopathic in the military world. And then when I got out, it took me years to get to the point where I now have what I feel is a comfortable mixture of who I was in high school and as a child and in my military career and now as a father. I feel like I've got a very nice balance rather than one drastic measure to the other.
And I've always been call it beta, whatever. But what I realized, and I've been in a couple of really bad situations. It could be psychopathy or something. I have no emotional reaction to deeply traumatic situations. All right, car accident. Okay, I can walk up. I don't freak out. Okay.
It's fun.
I have no emotional reaction.
It is.
I just, look, here's what's got to be done. But that was Navy. And
So I heard a good analogy the other day. We all wear paper masks, and sometimes it rains.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
The other that and I think I've actually had this one since a lot longer. I kind of call it EMT mode, but like when me and Maria first got together, I scared the living hell out of her because I got all the first aid kit, all the first aid stuff. I added it in the one set area in the cabinet, and this goes along with what you were saying. But all the stuff was right there in the cabinet, and at that point in time, she was working in Boone, I was working in Todd. So I'd get home and I'd cook dinner, and then when I cooked, she did dishes. She was in and doing dishes after I cooked one night, and I'm sitting on the couch right outside just watching TV that night, right outside the kitchen, and I heard the plate that she was washing, it broke. And when it broke, I heard her holler, and it had cut right on her wrist right there. You know, just the corner of the plate went right up, peeled the skin back, all up. And I got up, I walked in, I grabbed her wrist, looked at it, reached in the cabinet, grabbed the first aid spray, sprayed it, grabbed the gauze, put the gauze over top of it, wrapped it up, kissed her on the forehead, and walked off. Never said a word.
Didn't need to.
Just went to work.
You did
And
what
it-
you did what you
And then
needed
just,
to do.
but then just walked back out, sat back down on the couch and
Like
watched
nothing
TV.
happened.
And it wasn't. I think it was the next day was when she finally said something like, "No, you scared the shit out of me last night because you came in there, you did the shit, then you kissed me on the forehead and left, just like, okay, I know you're gonna be fine now, so."
Typical day in the field.
Yeah.
Typical day in the field.
Training just.
You know, I knew I was never going to
Muscle
be
memory.
an alpha male.
Muscle memory. You weren't thinking. You were just doing.
By the way, we had to lose Mr. Randy Blake because he needs to go home. Mr. Tim has some kids that he has to take care of, so that's the reason why both of them had to leave the table. So now we're back to just some vets sitting
All
around
vets.
bullshitting. So.
I'm just happy to be here.
We're just happy to have you.
Thanks.
Glad to
man.
have him.
Hey, at least we're here.
Damn
That reminds
straight.
me, I gotta check the.
It's
gotta
our
check
holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking
I gotta check it. This might just end up being an audio only episode that we put out, so.
Okay.
Because I have no idea when the camera cut out, but apparently it died a while ago.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Welcome to Jackass.
Stare at the camera now, it doesn't matter.
I was about to say, yeah, you stare at the camera now. Hell, the damn thing hadn't been
Sorry,
on.
I got a thing about cameras. I either love them or I hate them.
I hate them, but
Yeah,
I do love doing this, and I have enjoyed sitting down.
Well, I've
this.
definitely enjoyed just sitting around with a bunch of us just bullshitting.
Man, I'll tell you this. So, like, you know, I've been in Boone for about, oh boy, it's going to be 11 soon. So I've been in Boone for almost 10 years now. And for the first 5 years, I didn't even know that this VFW existed. The only reason that I know this VFW existed is because I started bartending at the Moose Lodge down the road, and Jerry Parker told me about this place, and that's when I started coming here. And ever since, like, I didn't think that I would ever find like the family that I was looking for until I came here. And I don't know what I would do without any of you motherfuckers.
You know, it's really hard for people who are not veterans to understand. There's a family. When
Yeah.
you walk into a place with other veterans, you know, and
Okay.
we might have to, but
Randy is not a veteran, but he's one of our brothers
He's one
because
of our-
he's
he's one of
family.
us,
His
and
family.
his
and-
family.
and-
because he comes in here and he helps support us.
He
but he kind of knows rules as a child of a veteran. You know, he's a military brat. And I love and appreciate our auxiliary more than they will ever know.
dude, we have one of the best.
the only-
we have
the
one of
only
the best
reason
auxiliaries
why-
in the state.
The only
But-
reason why this place still exists is
That's
because of the auxiliary.
I agree.
I feel like that's why most of the VFWs across
Probably
the country
so.
still exist.
That's
Is
probably
because of the auxiliary. It's not because of us. We'll always find, like, veterans as a whole.
gonna find each
We're
other.
always going to find each other. But like the support that our auxiliary gets from each other, and the support the auxiliary gives to us, the VFW would not be an entity that it is still today if it wasn't for our auxiliary and our support.
I didn't.
As in war, our auxiliary and our support
You know,
keep us moving forward.
you know something I just realized? That if he's not in any of the video whatsoever, they're gonna think I'm doing a fucking voice.
I
We
didn't.
talk at the same time.
I didn't realize that until I went to Kuwait that my mother flew a Blue Star. I was like, wait, oh shit, she is a Blue Star mother. I'm deployed. Glad she's not a Gold Star mother, but
Yeah.
she
Which
was a,
I do know a
But
Gold
she was
Star
a-
mom here in Boone.
No, which is and,
There's several of them here in Boone.
I know
Yeah.
one personally. I call her mom.
but
It's Tina. You know Tina from the E3.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She's a Gold Star mom.
I did not know that.
She is. She's a Gold Star mom.
but I never, and until I deployed, didn't realize what, even though I grew up a Navy brat, my mom raised us without my dad. My dad was at sea 4 years in a row, 3 Red Cruises, 1 North Atlantic. 4 years in a row, he was at sea on the USS Miller. So that was his life. That was how he lived. I didn't think about what a challenge it is for the family to get by on that monthly allotment, and mom's got to take care of it.
Everything.
Everything. If mom took care of discipline, mom took care of business. If I'd have had to wait till my dad got home, he'd have just had to get a baseball bat and beat me to death because, I mean, I could not. It was none of that wait till your dad gets home.
Like it.
Hell no, mom
like-
took care
you
of
mean-
fucking business.
You mean like a ghost pillow? No, if I
Yeah.
if I hit you with this damn thing, you're gonna die.
Okay, so random thought, touching back onto what you said about him dying and like his mom taking over all the responsibilities. To all the veterans out there, like if you want to be buried in a veteran cemetery, you can go ahead and set that up right now. Like you can go to any veteran cemetery. Like we're in Boone right now, so like our closest veteran cemetery is either in Bragg or it's Johnson City.
No, there's
Johnson
one
City.
in Statesville.
But there is one in Statesville as well.
Is
For
there?
There is one in
the Charlotte.
Statesville.
So like we're in Boone, so like we're on the border of like Tennessee,
So there's-
like southeastern Tennessee or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's Johnson City at Mountain Home.
Mountain Home, yeah. I worked there
There's-
before.
There's Johnson City at Mountain Home. There's down in Statesville, Huntersville area.
That's a cemetery. That's just a cemetery.
Yeah, that is a state cemetery. But also in Huntersville, there is there's another VA down there in
I'm
Huntersville.
talking about a veteran cemetery.
So back to what I was saying. If you're a veteran and you want to be buried in a veteran cemetery, you can go ahead, even if you could be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It doesn't matter. You can go there to your local veteran cemetery right now. Bring your DD-214. That's all you need. You need to bring your DD-214, show it to the funeral home director, and they will get everything set up for you. So that way, if and when you do leave us, it makes things so much easier for your family and your friends and your loved ones, because you've already taken care of everything. If you go to the VA cemetery, they take care of your burial, they take care of your casket, they take care of your tombstone, they take care of the 21 gun salute, they take care of everything. And you can do that while you're alive right now, so that way when and if you do pass, your family just has
doesn't have to worry
a
about
little bit less stress to worry about.
Yeah.
And financially, it's all free to you.
And
Take that as you will.
Now, I will say this on top of that. We interred my sister. I was not able to go. My sister interred my parents in Goldsboro in the veteran cemetery.
Goldsboro. that's
Dad
the other
passed
one I was
first, and Mom passed earlier this year. And we interred both of them. There was a cost to inter my mother. It was like $200 to inter her asses into a.
Oh, they do it on the same.
Yeah,
It's a tomb.
They
It's a
both
tomb.
went into the same.
On top of each
Right.
other. And even then, like if you have
That
a
was
child
free.
that's special needs and they can't take care of themselves, if you and your spouse die, they can bury your child with special needs on top of you, also at no charge to anybody.
These were ashes into a. But
I think it's around $200 for
Yeah.
a family member.
Yeah.
family.
But you can go ahead and take care of that beforehand and say,
Right.
like for me, if I wanted to be buried, which no, I want my funeral to be a spectacle, and
Don't we all?
I would love it if I was actually able to, have my daughter put push me out into the middle of my own pond and fire a flaming arrow into the middle of it
Yes,
and
the
just have
Viking
C4 and
funeral.
fireworks go off.
Which is what we all want. We all want the Viking
I
funeral.
want to eat a box of 22 shells before I go, just so I know. And then put me in the fire.
The crematorium director is going to have a hell of a time. Yeah. But getting back on track here, you can, if you are a veteran, you can go ahead and take care of your final expenses and everything if you would like to be buried or even cremated, going through one of the burial services that at a veteran's cemetery. You can also go ahead and take care of your family members now, because now it's around $200 per family member. If you wanted your spouse to be buried with you, if you wanted one of your children to be buried with you, anything like that, you can go ahead and take care of that now. And it's one of the things that, yes, it takes off, it provides peace of mind when you pass for your family.
Yeah.
I think
One
that
less thing
there
to
are
worry about.
restrictions on if you're going to be put into a
Now you can,
veterans cemetery.
yeah. What is that?
This is a shell casing.
I know it's a shell
and
casing, but
I believe it has a
It's a
story.
grenade launcher.
yeah.
It's for launching grenades.
There's no. Yeah,
Wow. I need to.
Dude,
a
you tell me there's no like caliber on the bottom of that.
No, that's you put that in a rifle to launch a grenade out the end of it.
In what year?
In World War II, that was the like
So this is basically like a blank that shoots a grenade.
Yes.
yeah.
How big is the grenade? Because this.
It doesn't
This-
fit
this
there.
doesn't
It fits
look-
on the
no.
grenade fits on the end of your barrel.
Well, I know
Or
that,
you
and this
use
is just the
pellet.
compression that shoots it out. But like, this is a very small caliber. Like, what kind of grenade?
No,
shoots
that's
it?
not-
30 caliber.
That grenade
Yeah,
ain't shooting far.
That's a 6.5.
I will definitely be dropping. I will definitely be dropping this in the freaking.
What's a
I can get it to
6.5?
focus.
That's what it is.
I believe you, but I've never heard of that.
Well,
But yeah,
What?
and
You
I mean,
said-
obviously, I wouldn't hear it because, like, you
Japanese.
know, we.
all right. And U.S. caliber be 270.
yeah.
6.5 is 270.
Yeah.
What is a 270 shoot?
A 270.
270.
But it,
Am I
but
am
it-
I being retarded right now? Do I not
270
understand what you're saying?
probably-
You were with me, so you had to deal with. Let me throw this over here. You had to deal with. I completely fucking missed
What?
that table.
Whatever.
But you dealt with 40 mics and
In 203s.
But
in the M. What's
yeah,
it?
the 40 mics with the 203s and the
the Marduce.
No,
that's a
the grenade. The fully automatic grenade
That's the
launcher
Mardu.
is what he's talking about.
Oh,
40.
the 40 millimeter.
40.
Yeah.
40
By the way, the other voice that you are now hearing is also a Marine, Vietnam veteran, Mr. Chuck Wright. You were hearing his new voice come in. He came in and joined us on this. But yeah, look up a 270 grenade launcher. It's
No.
no, it's a 270 fired grenade. There we are.
Not 270, it's 6.5.
So I'm thinking. I personally am thinking of the Mark 19.
Yes.
Right, the fully auto like
That's
grenade
40
launcher.
caliber. I mean, 40 millimeter.
Yeah.
And shooting 203 grenade.
Yeah.
That's
Shooting-
I'm
shooting
thinking of
40
the
mic
Mark.
mics.
I'm thinking of the Mark 19.
Yeah,
That's
shooting
what
40
we
mic
had. We
mics.
do. We
And-
so when I was with the Rangers, we would put Mark 19s on Gators. Like we'd mount them to the front of Gators and then load them up into Chinooks, and then we would drop those Gators with Mark 19s mounted to them off of Chinooks, and then we would ride those lures through the cities. And if we took contact,
Let's see. So today we have had veterans from Vietnam, First Gulf, which is
Korea wasn't that guy from Korea?
No,
no, his dad, his
grandfather was in World War II.
Okay.
But we've had Vietnam vets, we've had First Gulf War, we've had OIF, OEF.
So Chuck, all right, I have a quick story for you. you'll find amusing. One of my supervisors' birthday was yesterday. And as he's walking through the plant, somebody said, "Happy birthday" to him. And somebody said, "Whose birthday is it?" So I yell out, "It's the Marine Corps'! It's the Marine Corps' birthday!" And the whole damn plant cracks up because they don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but they knew I had taken over the plant. And Travis said, it was Travis's birthday. And he's like, "Thanks. I had a great birthday." I was like, "Yeah, but you know what? Not a Marine, but it's the Marine Corps birthday." And I understand there were some balls. Chuck, there were some Marine Corps balls over the weekend.
Yes, there was.
And
And a good time was had by all.
do you want to explain the Marine Corps ball, the tradition and the history,
Well,
the debauchery?
The tradition started in 1801. And that's the same year that the Marine Corps Association was first formed, the forerunner to the Marine Corps League. And Marine Corps League was sanctioned by Congress in 1927. General John A. Lejeune founded the Marine Corps League and pushed it through Congress, and we're the only congressionally chartered now military organization approved by Congress. There are several approved, but they're not sanctioned by. Anyway, as far as the ball is concerned, that was started somewhere around 1947 after World War II, and the first ball was held at Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., which was, Marine Barracks was formed in 1801 in Washington, D.C., and it is the home of the Silent Drill Team. It is the home of Marine Corps administration. The Pentagon is not involved in the Marine Corps Association, although we do have a general staff officer on the chiefs of staff. We are no longer a department of the Navy. We're a department of the Navy and Marine Corps.
Now, I'll also have to ask, where you were talking about the first barracks.
Yeah.
What's the address of the first barracks?
Why would you ask me that question when you already know the answer?
I know the answer, but the people that are listening to us right now.
8th and I. 8th Street and I Street, Washington, D.C.
So when you hear a Marine and
Who's
they're
your favorite
shouting
Marine,
out,
Chuck?
"Hold 'em high at 8th and I,"
Who's your
that's
favorite?
where they're talking about right there.
Who's your favorite Marine, Chuck?
Smedley D. Butler.
Really? I would have guessed Chesty Puller.
Smedley D. Butler.
Why?
Chesty Puller never earned the Congressional Medal of Honor because he was too anti-political.
Really?
Yes.
That is
He believed in the Corps,
Tells you
to
how,
the Corps.
that tells you how Army I am.
Nope.
Anyway,
I've got some history
Not going there,
to do.
I hear you.
I'm just saying that
Are we gonna? Or I know
Smedley
we're
D.
gonna have
Butler
to do it
was
eventually.
a two-time Congressional of Honor recipient.
Really?
Yep.
Kudos.
He was also one of the reasons why they passed that you can only get the Congressional Medal of Honor once.
Yes.
I thought it was twice.
He got it twice. He didn't.
He's the reason you can
No,
only get it once.
He's not
Okay.
the only one.
He's
wasn't-
not the only
There
one.
was
There are
multiple people who gotten it like multiple times
Three.
before him.
Three.
There was
people.
one that got it awarded a third time, and after the third time, Then they said no.
I'll dig
you
into
can
this.
only get it once.
I will dig into this, but yes, there were multiple people. In fact, there was one in the Civil War when it was first awarded. The award wasn't given until the Civil War, but there was one in the Civil War given twice in the same day
To the same person?
to the same
Yes,
person,
Ferguson.
and it was
What?
yeah, it was it's a
Ferguson was his name.
it was a wild story, but.
Oh, I can already see it now. Ranger Mike's going to be our guy that's always on camera, having
Oh.
to look up the shit that me and you
You can Google
fucking
this
said.
shit.
That's what he's doing.
And I keep saying it.
19 service members have been awarded the Medal of Honor twice. 5 of these individuals received 2 medals for the same action, which with each being a Marine. Shout out to my boys, to the Marines, who received both the Army and Navy versions.
Okay.
The other 14 recipients
this
earned
also
their 2
coming from
medals for
an Army
separate acts
Ranger.
of honor. That's wild. Dude, like I thought I was in a category in my own, but like there are categories that like I cannot even fathom, and it just, and, you know, as long as I have, you know, like I'm 40, so like I joined at 17, and I was in for 12 years. Like in my 12 years in, and then
I keep
in,
forgetting I'm older than him.
and then
Barely,
and
but I'm older.
then in my time out, like today of all days, like I still learn new things about the amazing things that just ordinary people have been, for lack of a better term, not raised or produced to do, but just like normal ordinary people being called to fucking service and just doing these incredible things with their life and their skills and the opportunities and the people who are next to them, like you guys are next to me. Like it's just crazy to think that no matter how much I learn and how much I study, there's still something else, and there's something more that somebody else has done better, bigger, and badder, and it's just it's humbling.
Well, here's the thing. That
It's
guy,
humbling.
that
Yeah,
guy you grew up next door to, who was the average guy, you would never know, but throw him into combat, he could either be just the average soldier or he could be Audie Murphy.
With plot
Or,
armor.
just absolute
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could
You
be,
are the main character, and
Chesty
you are just
Puller,
doing
who'd
side
you say?
missions.
I forget.
Dan Daly.
Or,
No, Smedley Butler.
or Smith, anyone. Well, there's a list, but any guy you grew up next door to could get thrown into combat and be that guy that, holy shit, really? Just
Or the one
not the average soldier, just
the one that
holy.
the one that Rambo was based off of.
I've got his name.
I can't
Broke
remember,
his
but-
back and then became a Green Beret. Yeah.
But also on top of that, it was he's out here.
I mean, that's like
They are zipping up the body bag on him, and
Yeah.
he spits in the medic's
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah. there's a part of this population. Look, I'm a veteran. I am not. I don't wear that plot armor. Never do. I would do my job. I signed that line that said I will offer my life, but I was not that guy. Honestly, I was never put in that situation, so I can't say that I wasn't, but I don't think I could be.
Dude, that goes back to what I was saying before when I was sitting over there. You know, like I grew up in a very like Christian conservative household. My dad was a former Army Ranger, but like that was never a part of his life.
You looked up Mike Vining.
You're goddamn right, I did. Because he looks. We were just talking about. He looks like a nerd. He looks like a nerd, but he was like one of the first Delta Force operators. He's one of the most highly decorated soldiers that's ever been in the United States. Not just army, but military. And he looks like a fucking high school art teacher.
I know.
He looks like a high school art teacher, but this man could tear you inside out with a blindfold and 2 hands behind his back.
See.
Does he look like a nerd?
I know the man.
Yeah. I'm just saying. But which also goes back to, like, I grew up in a conservative Christian household. My dad was a ranger, but it was never a part of my lifestyle as a child growing up. I was very calm, timid, shy, like reserved. And then once I got into high school and I started finding myself, and like even in high school I was still like reserved and shy, and I kept to myself. And it wasn't until I got out of high school and I went to the Army and I went to infantry and I did 3 tours in Fort Hood with 1st Cav, and then I re-enlisted because of our deployment matrix in 1st Cav, because of what we are. It's mechanized ground and like air. It's just Fort Hood has everything. And like if I didn't re-enlist to go with a Ranger contract, I'd still be in Fort Hood right now. But it's just like coming back to like, it's the guys you don't expect. Like this guy, Mike R. Vinning. He looks like a high school art teacher, but he's the most highly decorated Delta Force Special Operations, Special Forces fucking most badass motherfucker on the planet. I mean, look at his chest, bro. He's got a CIB. He's got an airborne patch. He's got special forces. He's got special forces. He's got a ranger tab. He's a fucking sergeant major. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stacks, not lines. He's got 7 stacks of awards, and he looks like a high school art teacher.
Yeah, Mike Viney is.
Dude, and it just comes back to do not judge that book by its cover, because you will be sadly mistaken.
You know, I saw this. It was a meme. When you walk into the bar and see that old guy in the VFW cap
with his hat down,
you know
low,
what?
by himself.
You know what? No matter how badass you think you are,
you don't have
that guy faced shit you will never face.
You could never dream about.
He stormed the beaches. He sat in our dance. He faced concentration camps.
He's been in tree lines in countries that you can't pronounce.
Yes, exactly. That guy with the hat, that Chuck.
Yeah. This nerdy little art teacher.
That 80-year-old guy, you know what?
Was at one point in time
the scariest son of a bitch
on the planet
that ever walked the earth.
Exactly.
And I'm going to give you, Chuck, I'll give you that.
We're sitting next to one right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're sitting next to one of the people we're talking about right now.
Yes. I will say we're sitting with, look, when you think you're a badass,
look around.
When you think you're a badass, you're not a badass.
Until you've seen the devil. And Chuck's seen way more than I have.
I know for a fact that all 4 people sitting at this table have looked the devil in his eyes in different points in time, in different parts of history, in different scenarios. We have all looked the devil in his eyes.
And most of us have laughed in his face.
Yep.
And that's why all 4 of us are sitting here right now, because we had the testicular fortitude to stare the devil in the face and walk away. And that is why I'm honored and I am privileged to call all three of you. You're at a different age. Chuck is at a different age. We are at pretty much the same age, different branches.
I'm barely older than you are.
But different branches, different experiences. That is why I'm proud to say that all four of us here at different points in time in our lives were some of the most prolific soldiers, Marines, in our lifetimes. And
I still got to make sure that goes through on the mics here. Airmen.
And we lived through it.
Chairman.
And right now we have 3.5 different generations of superheroes.
Okay, three and a half different generations. I can go with that one.
3.5
If he'd have said
generations
3.5 service members, I'd have hit
of
him.
superheroes sitting here right now, being able to have a conversation with drinks and just nothing but love and admiration. And I am very privileged to be a part of this group of people. So thank you.
I had Eric read this earlier, but I'm pretty sure.
Thank you, Chuck.
I'm pretty sure it all got mumbled together.
Thank you for doing what you did to allow me to do what I did to be a part of the group that you were in.
The United States military is a work in progress.
Absolutely. Always. All the time. Every second of every day, it progresses.
And military intelligence is an oxymoron.
Let me say, in the Air Force they may believe that too.
Hey, 60% of the time we're right every time.
As a 5.5-year veteran of Vietnam, it was a hell of a war, but it was the only damn one we had. We weren't the greatest generation because we weren't accepted as that. We weren't the worst generation. We were the worst thing to ever hit the earth by the American youth progress.
In their opinion.
However, I hope that they have grown beyond that now and realized a few things. My feelings inwardly are that no, they haven't. Because I don't go into talking politics. I don't believe in talking politics in the military. I never voted while I was in the military because it didn't matter how I voted. I took orders from the man at the top. Orders that I had to.
Shit rolls downhill, don't it?
Well, that's one way to put one part of what I'm saying. But I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud I upheld the brotherhood of the United States Marine Corps and the military. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
I am proud to have been a part of that military for 15.5 years. I would have stayed for 30. But circumstances being what they were, a civilian board at Headquarters Marine Corps said, Gunny, you're out of here. And I fought it. And I didn't want to go because I was slated in a later era to become Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And that's the epitome of being an enlisted man in the Marine Corps.
You're exactly right.
That's exactly why they boarded you out right there.
Because none of us are officers.
They couldn't have, the Marine Corps and the nation in general could not have dealt with you being
none of us are officers.
The gunnery sergeant of the Marine Corps.
It would have been.
But if it wasn't for men like you, you wouldn't have created men like me and Spencer, and even before me and Dave, because he's older.
All I'm going to say to that end is, again, it was a hell of a war, but it was the only one I had, or we had, as my brothers and I are still today, as faithful to one another as we were in boot camp, as we were in Vietnam. Believe me, we didn't leave a man behind.
No, sir.
We never did less than we expected the man to our left or our right to do. We always supported both, left and right.
Well, Chuck, like you just said, like you didn't get to pick your war.
No.
But you could pick your brothers.
Well, your brothers usually pick you.
Well, trauma bonds are a hell of a thing.
Yes.
Trauma bonds are a hell of a thing. And if it wasn't for you and your brothers, we wouldn't have people like Dave and his brothers. And then we wouldn't have people like me, Spencer, and our brothers. So it's because of people like you, sir, that created men like us. And and we appreciate that. And
Well,
thank
that's
so,
one aspect that I've never really had the opportunity or taken the opportunity to consider.
Okay, your one son does what now?
I'm sorry.
What is your oldest son? What does he do now?
He's a financial advisor,
You're coming
Okay,
back.
and what?
financial planner.
Okay, what does your second son do?
He is now the number 4 man at headquarters of the Marine Corps.
because of
He's head of
men
Marine
like
Corps
you,
intelligence.
because of men like you,
He followed.
created men like us over
And-
multiple generations. And as a part of the younger generation of this man's military, not branches, but military, I want to say thank you, sir.
We got to keep this bastard.
My son got out of the Marine Corps as a staff sergeant after 10 and a half years.
I was 12
He
and
was
I was
never-
12 years in the
He was never
military.
an FMF Marine, but he was always in intelligence.
We all have jobs to do in the military. Some of them aren't pretty. Some of them are extravagant. It doesn't matter what you do it well. And sir, because of men
If
like
can't
you
do
that did it well,
get the hell out.
Do the
yes,
best.
yes, and because of men like you, sir, that did it well, it created men like us that do it great. And we
I hope
appreciate it.
that we
Including-
left a shadow deep enough for, apparently it had some implication as to who you became and why you became what you were. I hope that, I would love to think that what the things that we did and the lessons learned were passed down and taught and trained to you, and you were able to utilize it.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. Because of great men like you, because of great men like you with little to no resources, it created positions to where, like me, myself, as a French infantryman, as an airborne, and as a ranger, because of the discrepancies that you had to deal with back in the day when people didn't understand, it created great soldiers. You were an amazing Marine. But but you being an amazing Marine in a time when amazing Marines were not a thing, you being an amazing Marine with you and your brothers, it created amazing and great soldiers like me, Dave, and Spencer here.
Lemuel M. Shepard
You led the way, sir.
was Commandant of the Marine Corps in 1959 when I went into the Marine Corps. He made a statement before Congress pleading for more funds for the Marine Corps to develop different and creative activities in warfighting. His statement was, in the United States Marine Corps, for ever how many years, it was 175, 80 years, I don't know. Anyway, something like that. He said, we have done so much for so long with so little. We're now qualified to do everything with nothing.
So,
Before Congress.
Yes.
Yep. Before
Chuck,
Congress.
So Chuck, getting off track just a little bit, I have a question.
We've been off track this entire.
I feel
podcast
I have
so
a
far,
question.
so-
I have a question that I
That's
don't.
kind of the
I
point of
don't.
this po-
I have a
that's kind of the
question
point
that I
of this
don't think
episode.
you've ever been asked before. What was your happiest moment on a deployment?
I can give you many negative moments, but
I know you can give me
No,
many
yeah,
negative.
yeah.
What is your happiest
Best memory.
moment
getting on a plane
deployment?
going on R&R.
Minus that. Minus that. So minus your plane on R&R and minus your plane going
No.
home during in combat in country. What was your most I'm
memorable.
sorry. What was your happiest moment overseas in any year, anytime, anywhere? What was your happiest moment other than going on R&R and going
Please
on
be the monkey. Please be the
and
monkey.
going
please
on
be the monkey,
like
please
going
be the monkey.
All right.
Or the snake.
I had a
Or the
Marine.
snake, or the dog.
Snake.
I'll go with anyone. I'll go with anyone.
I'll wait until the sidebar gets done.
We're done. We're done.
I had a Marine operating with me. His name, I can't tell you his first name. We called him Moose. He was one of these big
big country fed
guys, you know,
motherfucker.
the one, you know.
corn
the one.
fed.
Anyway, Moose got hit with a 60 millimeter mortar.
This is a happy memory, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
He got hit with a 60 millimeter mortar. Not directly, but you know.
Indirect.
Anyway, close enough.
Indirect.
He was medevac, sent to a ship. In 9 days, he was back, missing 3 fingers on his left hand.
Mad as hell, but he still
But he
had this
was
one.
back. He had his middle finger.
Oh! Had his middle finger.
He had okay.
He had his middle finger. Anyway, and he had lost some of his voice box temporarily because, shrapnel has no direction, you know. Anyway, Moose came back to our unit.
Yeah, I know.
What the hell are you doing back here? I couldn't leave you, brother.
I thought you guys would
That was a very.
That
Was one of the best goddamn M6 machine gun
Just
operators
made you tear. Just
I've
cried,
ever had.
cried
He was,
tearing.
he was one of those big old bastards from the
Yes,
Midwest
he
that
was
can carry the damn
6'2",
thing in one hand.
10 pounds, 20 pounds, something like that.
And he can carry the M60 in one damn hand.
And 600 rounds of ammo.
I just missed you guys.
Corn-fed bread.
He did not want to leave country. He damn near had to damn it. Anyway, overrun a fucking helicopter.
That was your
to get
fun.
to
That
it.
was your funniest memory.
Oh, that was my fondest memory.
Your
Fondest,
fondest of
that's-
any deployment
you know what?
status.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for sharing that with us, Chuck. We
dude.
really do
Moose
appreciate
Gallagher.
that. Like I know I know you probably haven't thought of that in years, have you?
No, I haven't.
So
But-
thank you for sharing that with us.
Moose Gallagher was one of those. He was from upstate Michigan, where town.
Not even Midwest.
Up-
Not even
upstate.
Midwest. Upstate Michigan. Yep.
Moose had a
Midwest.
partner. His name was Joe Soick.
but
He was from
Northern
Stevens
Midwest?
Point, Wisconsin.
What was his name?
Joe Soick.
Okay.
Soick had a mess knife that he shaved with. A mess knife. You don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what
those
that is.
are. You got a 4-piece down, a 2-piece metal tray.
Wait.
A 2-piece metal tray, and it had a knife, fork, and a spoon.
Fire
Okay.
knife.
Okay.
Oh, so it's like a spork that had a baby
No.
with a Swiss Army knife.
No, not a spork. These
No,
were
I'm saying a spork that had a baby with a Swiss Army knife.
Yes. Yeah.
kind of.
Okay,
yeah.
no, it wasn't a sport. It was a fork. I've got one at my house if you'd like to see it.
I would,
These were
actually.
These were the old mess
Anyway.
kits that you got that had the fold up. It had the fold up that one side was the frying pan,
Ow.
the other side was the eating tray,
And
it had a fork and a knife and a spoon inside of it, and
Like all in one piece?
yeah,
No,
So
not
a-
all-
no.
not all
So
in
a
one piece.
spork
No.
that had sex with a Swiss Army knife.
No, it's
They
not.
lay
It's
together.
not all one piece.
They
The
cuddled.
fork, the knife, and the spoon would all fit inside of those
They cuddled.
of the other two. And when you
And,
put them down, the handles would then fold over to lock it all together.
No.
No. Wait.
Those are not the ones I'm talking
No.
about.
Okay. Wait.
To the man who lived
All right.
it.
Explain what you are talking about, because
Yes,
I want to
sir.
hear this.
I do too.
It was the knife had an aluminum handle and a surgical stainless steel blade. You could take a piece of sandpaper and sharpen that sucker back to
knife?
razor sharp.
Oh.
Really?
Joe used it to shave with. Joe disappeared. We were on a fire base
Where'd he go to?
and we deployed out. This was with an artillery battery. We deployed out about 20 miles from our fire base to support an Army unit in the field. Anyway, we pulled out, and Soik,
I'm gonna have to.
Joe Soik disappeared for 3 freaking days. And I was getting ready to declare him missing in action. I'm serious. Joe Soik came back in at daylight on day 3.
I'll take it.
And he had a string of ears. Of ears. All left ears. That son of a bitch was probably 15, 16 inches long with nothing but ears.
That was the most realest thing that I've ever heard from anybody who's ever been in combat in my entire life. And I appreciate everything you went through, and I apologize for everything that you suffered through because of the things that you did. And thank you, sir.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I had a past Sergeant Major in the Marine Corps ask me one time, Gunny, have you ever done anything that went against your conscience?
Everything.
And I said, every frickin' day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Sergeant Major in the Marine Corps had never been in combat. That one had never been in combat since Korea.
Yes.
All right.
Had he been in combat in Korea?
He was in combat in Korea, yes. Anyway, and he asked me about my conscience. And I said, sir, quite honestly, I sleep well at night. I have no regrets for any decisions I've ever made. I have no desire to change my life in any way if I could. I just hope that somewhere down the road, somebody will take notice and train what I have put forth.
You're looking at one in the eyes.
Anyway,
thank you, sir.
I said that and I meant it, and I mean it today.
And you are now looking at one of those people who you were talking about in the eyes right now. I am who I am because you are who you are. And I appreciate that. And I will defend you with my life, sir.
That's the whole damn point of us being who we are. We will all defend any one of the rest of us with our lives. And now that Dave is back, we are getting to the point where I'm pretty sure my hard drive's going to start running out of space.
So I'll end my. I know I've talked a lot during this podcast, but I will say one more thing, and I would like to say it to you personally.
Sitting in this atmosphere right now, yes, it brings tears.
But I hope they're happy tears, Chuck.
Well,
because nobody here is sad.
Their remembrance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm not weak of character.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
And if anybody said anything about that, I will fuck them up.
I used to be.
Hey.
But I tell you what.
I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
That's me.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have to say is thank you, sir.
Right. Hey, Chuck.
This has been coming on for some time.
That's okay.
Hey, I get involved in it every once in a while.
You're with friends,
when I have
brother.
to stand up there on Veterans Day and say things, and yeah, I break up. Dave will tell you that.
You're with friends, sir.
I'm always with friends.
You absolutely are.
That's why I spend at least 2 hours a day right here.
There is no pity in this room. It is all respect.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is being filmed.
Don't take this to be weakness. It's just pain leaving the body.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everything is pain leaving the body. No. Oh, we still got to be able to pick at Mr. Chuck over here.
No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has once again been filmed here, not filmed.
Recorded.
It's been recorded here at the VFW here in good old Boone, North Carolina. If you would like to meet any one of us, you can stop by here. Hell, drop in, buy us a beer, or we'll be more than glad to buy you one.
I also have an OnlyFans. Should I not have said that?
No, we have to leave.
I thought we were. I thought we were being honest with the public.
So does Chuck, but
But,
We
ladies
don't-
and gentlemen, we are going to be closing out this session because I'm pretty sure my hard drive is going to be running out of space here soon.
And I'm pretty sure the bar's going to close, and I need another drink.
Yes, sir.
There we go. That's actually the reason why we're actually having to close this out. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on the History in Music podcast, here soon to be known as something completely different. Please go back for the now 4 weeks ago, by the time I actually post this. It's going to be the Veterans Day episode that I put up that's going to be a week after Veterans Day. So, if you are listening to us here on YouTube, please go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment down below for what you'd like to hear, what you'd like to hear from us in the future, what we are doing wrong, what we are doing right, and you'd like to hear more of.
And forget about Joe Soik.
Rangers lead the way.
We are also going to be
After the
probably
Pathfinders
trying to
have
make
been
Mr. Ranger Mike a recurring theme here on the podcast to have him join us out here.
You can call me the
Miss-
skinny electrician.
And we would like to say thank you to all of the veterans that joined us today and to all of the veterans that are out there in the world today, no matter which nationality you are, which country you serve. Unless you're against us, then fuck you. So,
I thought we only had a certain amount of fucks.
My next thing, 22 is 22 too many. Stop.
oh, you damn right. If you were out there today and you were a veteran and you were thinking about joining those 22 a day, please do not. Reach out to anybody.
Anything.
Call pound sign 988. Call
Please.
them, text them, anything right there. Please. They
You
will help walk
matter.
you through it.
You are ours. You matter. Stop.
22 a day is too many. Quite frankly, one a day is too many.
Absolutely.
So, if you were listening to us if you're listening to us on one of the podcasting services, which is probably going to be the way you're hearing this episode right now, please leave a rating and a review. The best way that we can get around is by word of mouth. Please tell your friends about us that you think might enjoy any of our content that we have. We are going to be doing some more bullshit episodes like we have done today in the future. Just sitting around with a bunch of us veterans here at the VFW and just talking about whatever in the hell we want to talk about. It is not always going to be the history and music, which is also another reason why we are changing our name, other than the fact that there's about nine different history and music podcasts out there right now that are all named the same thing. So, thank you for listening and joining in with us today. Once again, if you like hearing this, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button down there at the bottom. And please leave a comment down below because we are here, we are having fun, but we want to get our message out there. If it only ends up reaching 47 people, which is our membership numbers right now, and most of them are members here at this post or people that come in here to this post, that does not matter. We are going to continue to reach out to the people that we can, and because we enjoy doing this.
Yes, and yeah, if I can knock 22 to 21,
If we can knock 22 to 21, that's going to be awesome.
I've done something.
What I'd love to be able to do though is knock 22 down to 0.
Absolutely.
Because there's not a veteran out there that
You
deserves to
fucking
take their
matter.
own lives.
And you know what? You better leave that one in.
Oh, you damn right I'm leaving that one in. Because you want to go ahead and say it right now? Because on 3, 2, 1, you fucking matter.
Everyone matters. You count.
All of us count. Every single one of us counts out there.
Yep.
So, please, if you are in one of those situations, please reach out, find anyone, dial 988, call your local VFW. They will have somebody there that will, as long as they're open, that will be able to come and talk to you. Call 988. Go to your local police station, fire station, any emergency services, including the emergency room. Do not let the demons win.
Exactly.
We will fight right there beside you. But once again, this has been the History and Music podcast.
Don't let the hard days win shirt on.
This has been the History and Music podcast, soon to be called something completely different other than that. And here at the end of it, I'm Spencer Robbins.
I'm Dave Faulkner.
And I'm fucking Ranger Mike.
And we'll see y'all next time.